I want to get into this quote from Dave Gettleman, the New York Football Giants GM, who says that they went into last season believing that Eli Manning had a lot in the tank, and they're going into this season believing that Eli has plenty left in the tank. And so, of course, the idea behind that is the answer to the question, are you going to draft a quarterback? First of all, I want to say this. I think that at this juncture, we've all learned to maybe take everything that Gettleman says with a grain of salt. Obviously, there was the quote that circulated when they signed Odell Beckham Jr., and people believed back then that they were going to trade him. We go, well, we didn't sign him just to trade him. And then, of course, he maintained that when he said, when they did trade Odell Beckham Jr. and say, oh, we didn't sign him just to trade him. So I think I want to be clear with this quote because I don't try to guess a lot of times what guys may really mean when they say stuff. But I will say this. I don't think it doesn't mean that they're not going to draft another quarterback. To me, more than anything, what I hear is, look, Eli Manning is our guy. We're going to stick with him, and that's all there is to it. And it's deservedly so. And about 2 weeks ago, I asked you to put some respect on the name of Ronda Rousey, and I'm going to ask you to put some respect on the name Eli Manning. You know, a lot of people keep saying that Eli Manning is done. Eli Manning, his career's been over with. He hasn't been a good quarterback. But I want to propose this question to you. Without being a Giants fan and without using Google, can you name 3 guys that he's throwing to other than Odell Beckham Jr. and Saquon Barkley? And even then, technically, Saquon Barkley's a running back. So a wide receiver, can you name 3 legitimate guys that could be starters on any team in the NFL? Right? Julio Jones, any team in the NFL would take him. Roddy White, any team in the NFL would have taken him. Antonio Brown, I don't think that there was a shortage of teams that would have taken him. A.J. Green, et cetera, et cetera. And the bottom line is schematically, those are guys that they don't come along very often, but they could have gone and played for any team in the NFL and been superstars. Okay? Now, I don't say that to diminish Eli Manning. Here's what I'm actually saying that so that way people understand the caliber of athlete that is around Eli Manning. I know that a lot of people think that he's gotten way too much favor because of the Super Bowl wins. Understand, the Super Bowl wins are against Tom Brady and the New England Patriots, and one of them was an undefeated football team. I know a lot of people say that David Tyree was the reason for that win, for the previous one anyways, the previous Super Bowl. I'm not going to completely disagree with that. Phenomenal catch. That's all there is to it. What I am going to say is, beforehand, Eli Manning had to escape pressure. Eli Manning had to get away from guys, and he had enough athleticism and enough determination to be able to get away and make that throw in the first place. Then, of course, later on, he goes and he drops a dime right on top of his receiver to win the football game when a lot of people go, well, he's wide open. He was, but in that situation, how many quarterbacks may have choked and thrown that ball? I mean, as a Broncos fan, last year watching the game against the Kansas City Chiefs and watch Case Keenum completely overthrow guys down the stretch when Denver could have taken the lead in that football game. Believe me when I tell you, there are moments when big guys shine, and Eli Manning knows how to handle those moments. And when we start thinking about last season with Eli Manning, let's just go ahead and do that. Let's compare him with Tom Brady, for instance, right? Touchdown to interception ratio. Tom Brady had 29 TDs and 11 picks. Eli Manning had 21 TDs, same amount of INTs. Tom Brady threw for a little over 4,300 yards. Eli Manning right at 4,299, if I remember correctly. And he had a 66 completion percentage, by the way, which was better than Tom Brady's 65%. Then we look at how many times those two guys got sacked. And this is the nitty gritty of what's going on here. Eli Manning was sacked 47 times last season. Tom Brady was sacked 17, if I remember correctly. So when you look at it, contrast and comparison, 21 times last year. So more than double the amount of sacks. The problem with the New York Football Giants is not Eli Manning. The problem with the New York Football Giants is not their running game with Saquon Barkley. The problem with the New York Football Giants was not all the stuff that Odell Beckham Jr. was doing for entertainment purposes outside that a lot of people criticize him for absolutely no reason. What it boiled down to was a pathetic offensive line and a coach in Ben McAdoo initially that really just didn't know how to handle the Giants or Eli Manning. And when he benched Eli Manning, and that was the reason why the record got broke that Manning was going towards and setting, not because he got hurt, not because he couldn't play, one of the toughest guys in the NFL, but because McAdoo decided to bench him. And that was ultimately what got him fired, period. And, you know, credit Ben McAdoo because he says that he stands by his decision to do it. That's fine, man. I'm glad that your will is strong enough to stand by that decision. But I'm going to tell you something. You don't sustain at the quarterback position for as long as Eli Manning has because you don't have what it takes to win games, period. 2-time Super Bowl winner, 2-time Super Bowl MVP. I think that we forget that during Eli Manning's Super Bowl runs, he only threw for a total, I think, of 5-6 interceptions? And he played in 8 playoff games because in both of those runs, they started in the wild card. So they were in the wild card and went all the way to the Super Bowl. It's 4 games apiece. Eli Manning has been the consistent backbone behind that New York Giants football team for a very long time. And I really don't understand why we're so disrespectful of somebody that has not only cemented his own legacy, but has really walked out of the shadow of his brother Peyton. I'm not going to debate whether or not Peyton or Eli is the better quarterback, but let's be honest, there were a lot of people that believe that Eli has lived in his brother's shadow for a very, very long time, and I don't think that that's the case anymore. I think Eli Manning stands alone on his own and is a damn good quarterback, and I got to tell you, as a Broncos fan, I'd have taken him on my team. I love his toughness, his will. You have to understand that guys don't go over the middle and make plays for quarterbacks that they don't believe in. His receivers are willing to do that, period. I am Drew Duncan, host of the Full Court Press. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is all at Drew Duncan83. Additionally, you can find me on YouTube. Simply look for Drew Duncan. Our Full Court Press subsidiaries, football, basketball, and MMA, are all on Facebook and Instagram. And when you share this post, don't forget to use the hashtag Don't You Dare Touch That Dial. And as always, don't you dare touch that dial.